What's going on, everybody? This is a segment from the Nerdgasm Talk podcast. If you like podcasts, well, why don't you come join us as the crew gets silly and Philly while we sit to talk about the latest in comics, games, movies, and all things pop culture. You guys can listen to our whole show on all the podcasts apps. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys get your podcasts from. And make sure you guys also support the channel by subscribing to the Nerd Coalition Studios. And for the gaming needs, make sure you subscribe to Nerd Coalition Level Up. This is the Nerd Coalition. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And now, feel the Nerdgasm.
Alright, y'all. So, the way we ended it, I'm going to end it on a bang because I finally saw it. I told y'all at the beginning of the podcast that today I finally saw it. I am mad late, but I finally got a chance to see Bad Boys Ride or Die. And I know this review is going to be late and everybody review it and know how you feel about it. That's why I'm just saying I'm going to talk about it because I was supposed to go see this movie around for my birthday, and just the way things was working out, I just could not get to the movie theater to see this damn thing. And I was just like, it's been a while since I've been to the movie theater, so now I was like, finally I got a day. I was supposed to go yesterday, but I was like, no, it's cool. I got a day. I'm going to go and see this movie because right now Tues is coming out. Wolverine vs. Deadpool and Wolverine is coming out. They're gonna wean this out. That's how things are going. They're gonna wean this stuff out. You know, I started to see A Quiet Place. You know, chapter 1 or part 1, what it's called. So I wanted to go see Bad Boys Ride or Die. Was it going to be as good as the? I still think the third one was the best film before I went into this one. Or is it going to like bombs? Like it's like we're overstaying our welcome here with these characters. But just a quick premise: we got Marcus and Mike. They still at it again, but their old police captain who was killed in the third one, and now is being linked to some narcotic and dirty drug game business, and now their whole premise is to clear his name. In the process of trying to clear his name, they're being accused of doing some things also, and they get framed, and now they're on the run. So it's up to the Bad Boys to be able to clear their name and to clear their old captain's name as well. So that's just a quick premise of the movie real quick. So real quick, you know, I ain't got to be all formal to you guys. I fucking enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a blast. I thought it was a really good time. And there's a couple personal things that happened in this movie that I felt as though this is the reason why I really enjoyed this movie. Because one of the biggest things I had a problem with in the Bad Boys movies is from the first one going on down, I felt as though each movie it was reducing Marcus more and more to just like a goofy sidekick. And I'm like, no, these are the Bad Boys. That's his part, as in like Mike can't do this without Marcus. Marcus can't do this without Mike. And to the point where by the time we get to the third one, I was just like, man, Marcus can't do shit at all, you know. So now it's just like it's all about Mike Lawler, you know. And he's just the bubbling sidekick who just try to tell some jokes and it's just like, okay, well, Mike, by principle, I need you to be here. Well, I'm so happy to say that ain't this movie, because in a weird way, in this Bad Boys, Marcus and Mike switch places. That's what it's like. Marcus has a near-death experience, which changes his whole outlook of life and the universe, to the point where now he fears nothing because he can't die because it's not his time yet. So he's the aggressive one. Mike in this movie is getting married. He got married. So now Mike is suffering from panic attacks, and when he's out there in battle, because he knows he can't be as aggressive because he has to go back home to somebody. He can lose somebody. So that's where these attacks start coming in. So they switch the places of Mike being the more passive aggressive. You know, he's like, I'm being in the back. I'm like, we gotta take this thing out where Marcus is being hella aggressive. And I like that to that by that. And they brought back some callbacks, like it all brought it back to like the first Bad Boys, where they had the first Bad Boy shot. Everybody knows about the Bad Boy shot. Okay, everybody knows when you see that shot, it's time for them motherfuckers to team up. We got to get some things down. Well, in that first movie where Mike saved Marcus from getting hit by that car, they recreate the same thing in this movie, except Marcus saves Mike. And it was just those things like that that made me so happy about what was going on with Marcus. And I thought, honestly, this one was funnier. And I thought Martin Lawrence was bringing it in this one, where I was like, he was more funnier in this ride or die that he was in Bad Boys for Life, to the point it's like he had a couple funny lines, but I was just like, Martin Lawrence is being too humble. It's just he's just not right on certain things. But in this one, I felt as though he was funnier in this one, in my personal opinion. And like I said, he was more of a badass in this one as well than he was in the third one. So it was a real come up. They, Ammo is kind of back, but it's like they're down to there's 2 members now because the lead from Ammo, the one that Mike liked she is the captain now. And they're not married. He got married to his physical therapist. And the Asian guy, I don't know where he's at. If something happened to him, I missed it because like I said, I just saw the movie, so I don't know. But the one great thing about this thing is the action. The action is phenomenal. And this is probably one of the best action that Bad Boys has done. And I'm gonna tell you right now, the plane scene. See, I'm saying it, but when y'all see it, that was intense, and I was like, I wasn't expecting that out of this. And I mean, look, were they knocking on the door of Fast and Furious? Maybe, but to me, I felt as though for what was going on, for what it's worth, like that, this is still there. We're still kind of grounded, Love that bit of it. There was that one. Then the abandoned amusement park scene at the end, where they got the first-person shooter camera stuff going on. That shit is dope. That is dope as well. And most of the action scenes that they had in this Bad Boys movie, I was like, these are some really well done action sequences. It wasn't just Michael Bay just throwing shit like we gotta do this and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It wasn't that. It was more so. I like what's going, like especially that plane scene. That was really really dope. Then there was a surprise that I liked, that Reggie. Y'all know Reggie. Reggie is a bad motherfucker. Okay, that is a bad motherfucker right there. All right. You like I said, this has been out for weeks now, so everybody knows. But when he has to take out some, this Marine has to take out these dirty cops and these SWAT members, whoever is coming into Marcus's house. Man, I want that man living in my house. Okay, for protection only. Fuck a ring cam, fuck a panic room. I have Reggie. Okay, that do yourselves a favor. If y'all can't see the movie, wait till come out streaming. You gotta see that part. That thing is awesome. Okay, and I did this one. Like I said, it's just under 2 hours. I felt the intensity of it. I felt the tenseness of it. I was like, how are they going to graduate this story? Or how are they going to evolve this story? Because they're getting older. They keep getting older. They're not getting younger. They're getting older. And I think they did a good job evolving this story. And I think Martin played, he did a great job as Marcus. Will always does a good job as Mike. And all support characters, they just did well. They did good as well. I just had to talk about it and get my feels out on it, because that's something y'all need to go see. Honestly, with some recency bias right now, that once I go to sleep and wait about a week, it'll probably be different. But right now, this is my favorite Bad Boys. Right now, because the third one was my favorite. It was 3, 1, 2. 2 is, I'm not saying they're bad movies, but I'm saying 2 was still at the bottom for me. But to seeing this one, just because of what happened with Marcus, automatically puts it over the third one for me. So if I go by my merit of how I ranked them already, then there'll be the fourth one, the third one, the first one, and then the second one. So if they decide that they want to do a fifth one, I'm not going to be mad at them for that. I'm really not. It will be a crazy outtention, yeah, but right now, that fourth one, they did a good job. This is really good. I would love to see this again, but I'm like, it's been so late in the game now. When it comes to streaming service, though, when it comes, I'm going to be watching that, man, because I really had enjoyed it. It don't need to go deeper into it because y'all already seen this movie multiple times. But I'm saying, and like I said, even July 13th, a month and a week after this thing came out, it was still only 3 rows that was empty in my theater. And granted, we had a smaller room, but it was still filled in there. People were still watching this movie. It was a good time. It really was a good time.